Hey guys, this is your girl Renee from Renee's Garden Adventure, and today this is going to be cooking in the kitchen with me, Renee. Woohoo! So we are going to be cooking up that winter choy that we harvested out of our garden, and let me show you everything that you're going to need in order to cook up this delicious dinner. All right, let me show you. Here I have this andouille sausage that you can pick up at Walmart or any grocery store. That's what it looks like. You're going to need some green onions. These are the onions that I harvested out of my garden. These are some garlic that I grew in my garden. And these are some red onions that I purchased out of the store. So the first thing you're going to do is that you're going to take your andouille sausage. I've already washed it and everything looks good. And I'm going to also show you the winter choy. So let's cut this up, get this in the skillet, and then we will talk about our winter choy. So what you're going to do is you're just going to dice this up in any kind of pieces that you want. It can be round, it can be small, it can be whatever size you need. So let me finish. Go ahead and cut this up, and then I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so I have the andouille sausage all chopped up. I just chopped up my garlic. Now I'm going to chop up my green onions. And then we're going to put these green onions, and garlic into our skillet with a little bit of olive oil. And we're going to saute those. And then we're going to add into our andouille sausage. And just let it do what it do. And you can put as much garlic into this dish that you like. You don't like garlic, don't use garlic. You just cater this dinner to your own personal taste buds. Alright, so we got that all chopped up. Looks good. So let's take this over to the skillet and let's put the garlic and onions into our skillet. Come on, let's go. Okay, so let's put our garlic in our skillet and our onions into the skillet. And here's our red onions. We're just going to stick those all in there. You can put as much onions as you like in here. Okay. Turn up the heat a little bit, and then we're just going to saute our onions with our garlic and our green onions until they come translucent. And then we're going to add some seasonings to this. And then we're going to add our andouille sausage. All right. Okay, while this is sauteing, let's talk about our winter choy. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, you guys, so when you get your winter choy, you have to wash them thoroughly in some soapy water. And I let them stay in there for like maybe 30 to 35 minutes. And I just keep washing them really well. And this is what they look like. And look how cute they are. To me, they look like little trees. Let me show you. Look at that. Don't they look like little trees? They're beautiful. I love winter choy. So after you get them all washed, then I usually drain the water. It's almost like washing collard greens. You know, you have to wash them And I wash mine like 2 or 3 times because I want to make sure I get all the dirt and anything that may be creepy crawling around in there. I usually just let the water out and then I rinse them off. And then once I do that, then I put them in a colander like this, let them drain, then I pat them dry. And then once the meat and stuff has cooked, then that's when I put the winter choy in there, because you don't need to cook winter choy very long, because winter choy will cook really quick. It's almost like a spinach. So I usually just wash them down really well. Just like if you were doing, like I said, collard greens, and I'll just rinse them off. And then once I get them all nice and rinsed off, then I put them in the colander, shake them. Or if you have a salad spinner, just go ahead and spin them and then pat them dry. And then when they're ready to be added to the skillet, you just add them, saute them really quick because you want to retain that crunch. You don't want them to be real soggy and stuff. When you eat it, you want to have that vibrant crunch sound. All right, so let me finish getting this ready. And by the time I get done with these, then it'll be time to go back and check on our onions that we have sauteing in our skillet. Okay, and I also have a pot of water with some butter in it because I like to make a little bit of rice to put our stir fry of our winter choy. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of this rice into this water. I just like to eat mine just plain, but my family likes to have some rice to go with theirs. So we are going to make them some rice. Going to stir this. It can be any kind of rice you like. Stir that. Then we're going to just bring it to a boil. And then we're going to put a top on it. And then we're just going to cut the heat down and let it cook until it's done. So wait till that comes to a boil. All right, let's check on our sauteed vegetables. See how they're doing. They're getting there. See how nice and translucent they look? They smell fantastic. Love it. You can even put some bell peppers in here, which I'm going to do. Some of my dehydrated bell peppers I'm going to stick in here. See, the ones that I grew in my garden. Just going to put some of that in there. Because this is when you start layering all your flavors in here. It smells so good. Look at this, you guys. Look inside there. Look at all that beautiful colors of those bell peppers that I grew in my garden. And they're still fresh to this day. And then I'm just going to stir that up. So good. This one I'm going to add some pepper. Some black pepper in there. Can't wait till my pepper nigrum plant, Theodore, kick in. And he's supposed to be growing me some peppercorn, so then I can grind and have my own pepper, black pepper. All right. Now this is when we can add our andouille. And I always make me an extra piece that I like to just cook and eat it plain. So this is when you add your sausage into the skillet. And you get all of them flavors all incorporated into it. Look at that, beautiful. Now let me get a top. We're going to turn our stove down, not the stove, the oven, the stove top down a little bit because my rice is starting to boil. You see, when it starts to boil, then I'm gonna cut it down, and then I'm gonna put a top on it. Look at that. Look at the colors of that. Isn't that beautiful? Check that out. It's gorgeous. Let me get a top, and then I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so we have the top on our rice. Now we're just going to keep an eye on it, and I cut it down to low. Now let's continue on with getting our sausage and our onions together. They look beautiful. And once it gets all flavored in, this is when you can add your winter choy. But you got to make sure that your meat and your onions and stuff are already flavored and ready to go, because whatever flavors that you have in here, your winter choy is going to take that flavor on. So let me see what else we can add to that. We have onions already in there. We can add a little bit more minced onions. And we can put some of this. I've never tried this, so let's try this. It's called garlic and herb seasoning. So let's just put a little bit of that in there. All right, so let me get this all stirred up. Doesn't that look good, you guys? It looks fantastic. Woohoo! And just think, some of these ingredients I grew in my garden, and the star attraction is going to be that winter choy. All right, let's just let this heat through, and then I'll be back when it's time to add the winter choy. Okay, guys, it looks good to me, and I found a little bit of chicken that I had in my refrigerator, so I'm just going to add that. That's one way of getting rid of leftover meat that you may have. And just add that in there. Whatever little meat you have, just stick it in there. All right, now it's time to add the winter choy, because it looks good, you guys. Don't it look good? And the rice is looking good. Check it out. See? Take the top off so you guys can see what it looks like. Look at that. Rice is looking good. The meat is looking good. We're doing a good job today. Good job. Stir this rice just a little bit so we can make sure that it's cooked all the way. It's not going to be too hard. Nobody wants no hard rice. So I got it on low, so we're just going to let it cook and do what it do. All right, let's get this winter choy. And you don't have to cut up the winter choy, just like greens. It's going to shrink down and it's going to be delicious. All right, here we go with the winter choy. Just put a little bit in there and you stir it up. Look at that. And it will just shrink on down. See what I'm talking about? How it looks? And once these shrink down, then we're just going to add the rest of the winter choy. And then when it's all kind of wilts, then that's when you add the rest of your seasonings to it. So we're just going to let that do what it do. All right, let me let that shrink down. And then I'll come back when it has decreased in size. But look how beautiful that is. Isn't that a beautiful, beautiful dinner? Looks gorgeous. Okay, you guys, it is done. Look at how it looks. Doesn't it look beautiful? Looks all the beautiful colors. I love it. And let's check on our rice. Make sure our rice is ready to rock and roll. Let's see how our rice is doing. Rice looks good. Just make sure. Yep. Fluffed up. Could be like a fluffy rice. Yep. Yep, that'll work. Nice and smooth. And what I'm going to do is I want to add some zucchini to mine. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and grill me up some zucchini to put into my my winter choy stir fry. But all right, you guys, I'll get it all plated up and then I will bring it back so you guys can see the finished product. Woohoo! I'm trying to encourage you guys, get out there and grow, grow, grow. All right, you guys, so we are done. Here it is. Woohoo! Doesn't it look delicious? And it's from the garden to the table. So let's taste it. Let me bring it down a little bit so you guys be able to see me. All right, here we go. You guys get the first bite. Get some of that winter choy. Here you go. Look at that winter choy. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that up close. Go ahead and take your bite. So cute. This is what yours is going to look like. And I have my grilled zucchini right here. See? Got that nice grill on that zucchini. See? Because I love grilled zucchini. So if you never tried growing winter choy in your garden, go ahead and give it a try. This is Renee saying, hope you try growing winter choy, and I hope you try this dish. And thanks for joining me in another episode of Cooking in the Kitchen with Renee. One more look at our andouille sausage and winter choy over some white rice. Have a wonderful day. Have a blessed day. And Miss Renee will see you in the next video. All right, you guys. Try this winter choy. Delicious. Love you all. Take care.